You were the person who sprung to mind this morning because you took Ozempic, even though you're not overweight, for the purposes of your job. Why and what happened?
Well, yeah, so I took it because, actually not for work, but because I got caught up in the hype on the school gates at school. So loads of the mums at school are sharing around Ozempic, and they were at the beginning when it was a real craze. And I was a little bit sanctimonious and said, no, never do that. And the next thing I knew, I'd given it a go. I was just so curious. And I felt unbelievably sick to the point where I couldn't move for 2 days or 3 days. And then pretty miserable for 2 weeks, and then low-level miserable for 8 weeks, at which point it finally left my system, and I started basically binge eating because I hadn't been able to eat properly. I hadn't had my appetite, and I was so excited I could eat a whole chocolate muffin again. I just scoffed the whole thing. And I didn't gain all the weight back, but I really felt miserable for 8 weeks.
You see, you wrote about this in the paper. I thought you'd done it as a feature idea, but by your own admission, you just got swept along with the notion of losing a few pounds.
I did a mea culpa. It was the beginning of the summer. A lot of my friends in the school gate. I mean, it sounds pathetic. I sound like a teenage girl who got caught up in a craze, but it is happening across the country. I mean, it's happening across my school with all the mums. Oh, the summer's coming up. Let's all have a quick jab. We'll lose 5 or 6 pounds. We'll look great in our bikinis. And, you know, there wasn't enough information out there to say, if you're being very stupid, which I was, you know, don't do this. It's not a quick fix that will get you through the summer looking great in a bikini. And hopefully now that I've written the piece, which is very embarrassing for me to admit, more people realise, you know, and now James Corden's come out and said that actually he couldn't take the jab because it made him feel totally miserable. Because the way it works is it blocks your kind of dopamine receptors as well. So nothing brings you happiness or joy. So for those people who comfort eat and binge eat, sure, it works because it stops you eating a pizza to feel better, but it doesn't address, of course, what's making you feel sad in the first place. So in some ways, it's not going to help for wedge eating in the long term.
How did you get hold of the drug?
Well, that's the thing. So one of the mums on the school gate managed to get it by basically fibbing. She said that she was overweight online, and she wasn't, and she even sent in a picture that she'd taken off the internet, which actually they did catch, and so she found a way around it, but they were able to tell that this isn't you, this is from the internet. Anyway, she got one, and then the mums were literally just sharing them out on the school gate. She got 1 or 2, a couple of the other mums tried it, and you know, I know it sounds embarrassing and shocking, but this is something that is genuinely happening all over the country. All those women that want to lose, you know, no carbs before marbs, you know, that mantra, people are now replacing that with quick go on the Manjaro.
And Charlotte, the whole point about this is it's supposed to be prescribed to you by a doctor who would decide whether you're appropriate for it or not. But we know people are getting some of them getting from dodgy online pharmacies. They're not.
Some of them are getting them from not dodgy online pharmacies, Andrew. Some of them are just getting them for Superdrug online.
Amazing, extraordinary, isn't it?
And so when you read this story that the government has basically decided to put 3,000 people who are overweight on these drugs as a trial for the drug company to see if these people go back to work, what do you think has happened behind the scenes for the government to think that is a good idea?
I think you're probably right. They've been wooed by Lilly, the company that make the Manjaro jab. You know, it's just like me and the mums, really, to be honest, at the start of the summer. Oh, it's a quick fix. This is it. This will solve everything. And on a much larger scale, I think Wes Streeting's doing that for the entire of the NHS. I think the difference is they are saying they're going to roll it out to those who are morbidly obese first. So that's reassuring, because I think if you are morbidly obese, it doesn't make you feel perhaps so ill as if you're basically a normal weight and you just want to lose a few pounds. Yeah. But it sounds to me like he's just been wooed by this you know, catch-all, fix-everything trick.
Yeah.
And that's the point, isn't it? You know, if people won't make the effort to, or finding it difficult to make the effort to get the weight off, we'll give them this magic drug, which the taxpayer will pay for, and hope for the best. We do not know what the long-term side effects are, Charlotte, of these drugs.
I was really rattled by my experience. I know I only took it once, and I will never take it again. I felt so awful on it for such a long time. In terms of my mental health, I felt really, really low. And I just think if you're morbidly obese, there's a high likelihood that you have got some mental health issues anyway. Perhaps you're comfort eating or binge eating. And if you are on this and it makes you even more depressed, you know, in many cases it is making people more depressed, and certainly that's the experience of some of those mums on the school gates I mentioned, then it's not good in the long term.
How panicked were you when you'd taken it and then felt awful? I'd be so worried. It's not like you can stop taking a pill. No. You've injected it into your system and you don't know what it's doing to you.
You're exactly right. I thought it would be worth a go. It'll be like a pill. It'll wear off in the morning. If I don't, you know, if it doesn't work, I'll feel better in 24 hours. And so I was quite panicked when I realised, oh God, I feel dreadful. I don't know how long this is going to last. I ended up calling, oh, it's so embarrassing, but I ended up calling 111 for their advice. And the 111 nurse on the other end of the line said, oh, I've been on it for weeks. I've lost so much weight. I feel amazing. And she kept saying, are you sure you're not pregnant? Is that why you're being sick? Because I was being sick quite a lot. And I was saying, I'm just telling you, I've just taken an injection. I'm really scared. I'm frightened. It's not because I'm pregnant. It's because I've taken the jab and I shouldn't have taken it. I feel very stupid.
So they just don't know, do they?
No,
the people
I
who should know just don't get it.
No, they don't yet. There's not enough information around it. People are still in that phase of being way too excited that they found this magic cure for everything.